All my successful lions out there. I'm back. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all living? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's a new year. Hope everybody's doing well and everybody's health is well, man, because if your health is well, you could achieve anything else that's in your direction or on your goal list for this year. So that's how I like to start it off, man. I hope everybody's health is well and they got some great goals for their health, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're sitting in the hospital, how you gonna use it? How you gonna spend it? How you gonna enjoy it? So make sure your health is, number two. Number one is God, number two, your health, then hopefully your family, then everything else after that. But yeah, I'm coming today real quick. Not gonna hold y'all up. I told y'all in the last video I was gonna speak about the Torrey Lanez verdict. This is how semen retention and sobriety could have saved Torrey Lanez from 30 years behind bars and deportation. I tell you guys the importance of discipline, sobriety. Stay away from all forms of alcohol, weed, pills, anything that can alter your reality or your brain. That case, I'm not saying who's guilty, who's not guilty. I like Torey Lanez as an artist, but I don't know who he is as a man. And that's where people get things twisted. I don't idolize any of these artists. I just use them as examples because the mainstream people who I'm trying to reach, the kids and the young adults, they can understand these examples that I'm giving by using these artists' background and history. So right now I'm about to go through a history lesson with you guys about how semen retention and sobriety could have saved Torey Lanez from doing 22 to 30 years in prison. You might as well just say 30. I hope nobody has to sit in jail for 30 years for grazing somebody, maybe accidentally, or I'll just say accidentally. I'm not going to throw anybody else under the bus. We all know the story by now. But that case was just full of holes. But when I say she, Megan, called him over to Kylie Jenner's house, he could have declined if he was thinking with his mind. All right, you coming over to someone's house, they've been drinking, probably drugs is involved, and you want to hurry over and you're intoxicated. And he said in the interview that as soon as he walked to the pool, he downed 6 shots. I don't know if it's Henny or different shots of, people that do the brown liquor and the white liquor mixed. It's total chaos. So I'm not sure what they were all drinking and what he had before he even came. So it was just something that was meant for destruction from the start. You know what I mean? So I remember those days of going to house parties and stuff like that, intoxicated, and a lot of them were good parties, but I say 50% of them ended in gun violence or some type of violence, or things just didn't end well. People getting arrested, all type of stuff. So it just doesn't end well. You know, the same with clubs. I say I had 50% good times at clubs, 50% was horrible. You know, that's why I stay away from it and stuff like that. But you see how the sobriety could have saved his life, man. He just stayed at home, focused on his craft. If you want to do something, I don't suggest it, but someone at his level, he's already reached millions of dollars. So I can't tell him, like, hey, don't get intoxicated, don't do drugs or whatever. But you have a mansion at your house. See, Kylie did it the right way. She had people come to her. She had security that could escort people out. Like, she did it the right way. You can bring the club to your house if you got a big enough house, and they all live in the same area. So I'm assuming he has a nice house or rental property that he could have brought the party to him. You see what he did on Quarantine Radio. He brought the house to him. He should have kept just doing that. Go out, do your shows and stuff like that, but stay at home in your own environment. You know, that's what happens when people try to roam the streets intoxicated, okay? And now if he would have practiced discipline and semen retention, he wouldn't have been thinking with his head down there. He would have been thinking with his head up here. You know, it came out that he had sex with Megan's friend and Megan, not at the same time, but different times behind. I guess the woman's name is Kelsey's back, and it just ruptured in a volcano that happened that night. And all of them was intoxicated. But Torey, being the man, that's what I'm saying, being a man, I hold you at a higher standard. You know, that you had to, when they came back the second time, you could have said, hey, we're arguing, you guys take an Uber home, I'm gonna take my driver. Or hey, we already got kicked out, so I'm gonna stay out here, wait for my guy to drop you guys off, and he can come back and get me. But I'm not driving, I'm not sitting in the car with you guys arguing. You know, he put himself, but this is being intoxicated. You think you know, the Terminator, you think you're invincible. And this didn't turn out well, man. I like him. I actually love him as one of the new artists. Like, I like his R&B. His rap skills are up to par. You know, I remember he did a few battles with a few prestigious artists and stuff like that, and it was pretty good. So he's very talented, multi-talented, to be sitting in jail for 22, 30 years. You know, and I don't blame, we all know the industry is wicked. Well, a lot of people don't know, but you can see it when you have on sober lenses, when you have on that spiritual discernment, you can see how the industry is. So all these people that say, yes, he got out his contract and then they came after him, that could all be true. They could be all working together. I don't know. It could be true. So I don't blame Rock Nation and this and that. Like, it could be true. It could not be true. They are powerful. So it is what it is, man. But it was a kind of wrong time to have a trial right before New Year's and Christmas and those holidays, because people are rushing, trying to get home to their families. You know, so that was a bad move on Torey's lawyer. He should have pushed it back until the top of the year, where if he felt it wasn't going right, he could have called more witnesses, you know, and people would have been just more relaxed, I feel, on the jury side, if they didn't have to rush home to their families and want to rush home to their families. You know what I mean? So I think there was probably a couple people on there that didn't found him not guilty, but being that it was about to be holiday time, I feel they kind of persuaded to go with everybody else. And that video call from jail really killed them. So I hope the brother figure it out. I wouldn't want to see nobody in jail for that long, that amount of time for a graze. He should just do 6 months, time served, and deport him to Canada, and he can pick up his career from Canada, unfortunately, I think he just can't come back to the U.S., but he can travel overseas and make his mark for the next 10, 15 years, being out that way. He'll still have American fans and stuff like that, and hopefully, he can come back within 10 to 15 years and want to become an American citizen. He wasted all this time being here for almost 10 years and didn't become a citizen, which sucks that this happened. So I just encourage everybody, man, look up semen retention, practice discipline, and number one, be sober. Be sober. You're gonna make the best decisions sober. And this is coming from someone, I'm not being a hypocrite, this is coming from someone 5 years clean, but was unsober for 20 years. All right? And I'm having the best time of my life right now. Yes, I had good times, great times, yes. But as a man, being an adult, I'm having the best time of my life right now, being sober, practicing semen retention, and just shining and being that glow. Like when I walk through, like heads turn, heads look, eyes are staring, eyes are glaring. Yo, who is this? You see the glow, you see the gleam, you see when your boy walk through, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. I could try to explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand unless you're going through it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't understand unless you're going through it. Like getting that mercy, that praise from the Most High, getting my blessings answered, all my goals accomplished, my head on a swivel, in the best shape of my life, walking through, stomping through, just glowing like a orb, like a light bulb, just walking through, like filled with electricity, just walking through, glancing through, you know what I mean? And you would never understand how this feels, unless you go through it. So all my successful lions out there, stay up, stay shining, stay smiling, and shine on them, man. Shine on them. Till next time. Peace.